What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are at Fit Club here with Jared Feather. He's my special guest. You guys might recognize him from the RP website. He's a sports scientist with them. He's also an IFBB pro
Classic physique.
classic physique.
Not big enough to be a bodybuilder.
And he has some, fun degrees and some really nerdy sciencey stuff. So
Fun sciencey bullcrap.
So yeah, today we are going to be doing a back workout. I have expressed to Jared quite a few times that that's an area for myself that I want to bring up, mostly my rhomboids and just really filling out the muscle in that area. So of course I go to the best.
Oh, thank you so much. But yeah, as she mentioned, I basically run with Mike the RP YouTube channel. What we like to do is take all the nerdy science stuff she was talking about and try to apply that to people on the YouTube channel and try to help them kind of with their problem areas or just mess them up on camera, and they seem to have a good time most of the time. We'll see if she does today. She mentioned to me that she has trouble, and I'll just put this in quotes, like feeling that area. So today we're basically just going to assess if that's actually an issue or not. If she's getting a good pump in the area, even if she's not really like quote unquote feeling it during the exercise, technically not that big of a deal. But if there's some sort of issue where like she literally can't get in certain positions or she's actually having trouble growing that muscle, we're just gonna implement some techniques today that hopefully you can take with you for the future and just actually start to really grow that part of your back, and we'll see what happens.
He's going to try to break me.
That's also going to happen. So we went ahead and warmed her up a little bit on the row machine here. She's only using 60 pounds for this first exercise. What we're gonna do is basically a superset. Her problem area she was telling me about was the rhomboids. So bent rows, as we know, hit the entire back. It's not a lat exercise. It's not a just rhomboid exercise, not just an erector exercise, not just a trap exercise. It's the entire back. There are variations of this that you can do to actually hit different parts or emphasize different parts. The first thing we're gonna do is a row to chest, superset with a regular bent over row. Both of them are gonna be basically completely parallel to the ground, full protraction to really stretch the rhomboids open. She already did a warm-up so that she could feel it a little bit, so we'll see how that gets going during the set. But basically, quote unquote pre-exhausting, this is like a mechanical drop set, or you can just call it a superset if you want. Basically pre-exhausting with that first row variation where we're touching the nipple line, basically row to chest, wider grip. And then going into that bent row, the rhomboids are already exhausted, so you're just hitting them even further. It's basically an intensity technique to push a bunch of metabolites into the tissue, get a good pump for all of those bros out there. And we'll see if she can feel it on this one. She said she could during the warm-up, so let's take it and see how it feels. A little bit wider grip on this first one. Good, nice and bent over. Nice lordotic posture. Protract fully. Right at the nipple line. There it is. Full protraction, nice and slow at the bottom there. There, full stretch, that's perfect. Big, big stretch. Let's go, big stretch. Come on. Big stretch, great job slowing it down at the bottom there. Yes, don't raise up. Just the back works. Yes, exactly. Just the back works. Let's go. Beautiful reps. Yes. 2 to 3 more. Yes, try to touch, come on. Again. Good, set it down, regrip. Right into that bent over row.
Apologize.
Same exact technique. Forward, lean forward, it's fine. Yep, there you go. Up to the stomach. There you go. Good. Just the arms move, don't swing. Just the arms. Yes, exactly. Just the arms, perfect. Big stretch. Yes. Let's go. Yep. Come on. Touch. Slow that shit down. No bullshit reps here. Yes, yes. Again. Beautiful. 1 to 2 more here. Big stretch. Last one. Hell yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. How was that?
Good.
Yeah? You feel the area while you're doing it?
Yeah.
Afterwards a ton?
I do notice I have a tendency to start
Right.
to
Swing a little bit.
like come up. So keeping my back,
Actual bent over row.
like really staying over.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's a problem that most people run into, and that's probably why, at least in a bent row, you can't feel the rhomboids working.
Yeah.
Because people, they tend to get that muscle pretty close to failure, and they realize it's getting hard, so they start rep chasing, and that's when you start seeing shit like this.
Yeah.
It's like, what muscle did you actually take close to failure then? Like,
Yeah.
You felt that it started to get difficult, so you decided to compromise your technique instead. So if you can just keep your technique really solid, I think you're going to find you're going to hit your rhomboids pretty well.
Like staying really.
Yeah, so like
level.
that's why I say just the arms move, because then it's kind of like, oh shit, I'm moving my torso a bunch. So I should just really be bent over, just using the back like this. And then when you can't touch anymore, that's failure. And there's no reason to compromise the technique to
Yeah.
get more fucking reps. Like, why do that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Do you think it's better to do like chest supported to keep from?
Better? Not necessarily. It's really just like, so anytime somebody asks me a question like that, it all boils down to what we call the stimulus to fatigue ratio. So if this is 60 pounds. I don't know, that's probably not a lot of fatigue for you, axial loading wise. The better stimulus you can get for the least amount of fatigue, the better. So if bent over rows are super fatiguing for you because they're really axial loading, like you said, you did dead stop bent over rows, Pinley style with like 135 or something, that's probably pretty systemically fatiguing. And if
Yeah.
you're not feeling the muscle, the stimulus feels like garbage, maybe don't do that. Maybe do a chest supported instead. Doing something like this, probably not that bad because it's 60 pounds. You're really staying in position super well. And you said you got a pretty good pump already. So it's like, oh, that's a pretty good stimulus. The fatigue's pretty low.
Pump.
Yeah, look at that.
Little
Shit.
pump already.
So, yeah, anytime somebody asks me something like that, outside of like, should I just do leg extensions for my quads? Because that's how I feel the most. You know, it's stimulus to fatigue, how that feels. If it's a great stimulus with a chest supported row, then you can really like protract over that pad, big chest at the top.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can do some today if you want.
Yeah, I'd be
We'll do
interested
this and then
to
chest
do a
supported
few.
if you want.
Yeah, I don't do a lot because
Yeah, right. That's why like the seating
So,
machines are usually better
yeah.
for females, and I was like, just really reach over that pad. 'Cause
Yeah.
You can just kind of set up there like this.
yeah. Well, then also some of the machines are just made for larger bodies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't quite. They work for him.
We're not all 6'2" and gorgeous.
Model behind the camera.
Ready?
Yeah.
Set two?
Ready?
Same thing. Row to the nipple line, big stretch. Yep. Big stretch at the bottom. Slow it down, slow it down. Yes, exactly. Good job keeping that lower back tight. Great stuff. That's it right there. Perfect. Every rep exactly like that one. Yes. Come on. Yes. Yeah, there you go. Again. 2 more. Last one. Good regrip. Good stuff. Good stuff. Same as it wanted to do the thing. That was good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Same thing. Nice lordotic posture, big chest at the bottom, full stretch. Up and back. Yes. Let's go. Beautiful. Swing, all swing. Use the back. That's what we're here for. Yes. Yes. Again, come on. No swinging. Use that back. Oh yeah. 1 or 2 more. Good. Done. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man. That's humbling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. How's the pump?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feeling the area you usually don't feel? More than normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Mostly on the wide ones.
So when you tell me, so sensation, people generally think of that concept a little differently because squeezing the muscle, mind-muscle connection, shit like that, all those concepts, people think about the concentric phase usually. So they're like, if I can't squeeze my muscle during the end of the concentric, then I can't feel it mind-muscle connection-wise. But if this is stretching the fuck out of your rhomboids and you're getting a good pump,
Yeah.
that's part of the mind-muscle connection.
Yeah.
It's part of sensation. So you're usually having trouble with sensation on the peak contraction, and that's why you say you can't feel it?
Yeah.
But you normally get a pump and stuff. Okay. So it might not be an issue, but we'll figure it out on the
Yeah.
supported row especially.
Yeah.
See how it feels.
I mean, ultimately, I'm not trying to make my back
Right.
any wider or
Yes.
anything, but yeah, the density,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Does it go to 7.5? Or 10?
Whoa.
Well, try the 10. We'll see. I'll just twist it if I need to. Right. Remember, hold that deep, painful stretch. Good. There you go. Every rep, every rep. Big, big stretch. Good. Deep stretch, hold. Good. Deep, deep stretch. There it is. Let's go. Full stretch, full stretch, full stretch, full stretch. Yes. Deep stretch. There it is. There it is. Hell yeah. Yeah, now you're getting it. Good stuff. Hold it. Hold it. I know it's getting hard. I know it's getting hard. Don't try to make it easier. We're not running away from that shit. Lean into it. Make it hurt worse. Make it hurt worse at the bottom. Big stretch. Lots of pain. Let's go. Control that last range of motion. Control, control, stretch, stretch, stretch. Yes. Control, control, control. Two more. Really slow that range of motion. Slow, slow, slow. Deep stretch, deep stretch, deep stretch, deep stretch. Pull hard. There you go. Good. Go. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna turn this thing on. Yeah, heart rate up to the roof.
150.
Yeah.
Me when I go upstairs when I'm like 260.
Oh my gosh.
I get to the top, I'm just like,
I'm doing like glute kickbacks and my heart rate's like 155.
good. At the end there, basically really reach forward. Like you're trying, yeah, exactly. You're trying to smash that front of the machine with the dumbbells. Exactly. There you go. Beautiful. Deep, painful stretch. Yep. Tap that front of the bench with the dumbbells. There you go. Beautiful. Let's go. Big, big protraction over the bench. There it is. Come on. Let's go one more. Pull hard. Good. Done. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I totally feel that.
Yeah.
Right in the middle.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There you go. You got
That
one.
little stretch at the end.
Yeah.
So, talk a little bit about the rep range thing. 'Cause I think a lot of people have
Sure.
questions on
Yeah.
that, and I always have to tell. Like, I work with a lot of lifestyle clients, so people tend to categorize all weight training as all the same,
Sure.
right? Powerlifting, CrossFit, all the stuff, yoga with weights. And so, the question of like how many reps should I do, and it's like, well, bodybuilding, it's so much more about the intensity factor of like getting to that right level of intensity.
Yeah, yeah. Like reps and reserves. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, if you are a client who is training in the gym with weights for the most amount of muscle retention, because you do a lot of lifestyle clients, that's their entire purpose of going to the gym. Like,
Yeah.
I want to look good naked.
Yep.
That's a lifestyle client. To do that, you don't want to just lose weight. You want to lose body fat, and you want to maintain your muscle tissue. So when you're training with weights, you should basically be using the rep ranges where you feel a really good pump. You're not super fatigued from it. So like doing heavy ass weight in the 3 rep range
Yeah.
on a bench press is probably a bad idea during your diet. But basically, the more heavy compound an exercise tends to be for myself, I seem to get a really good stimulus in that 7 to 10 range. When you start to move more toward machine-based exercises, intensity techniques, that more like 10 to 20 rep range is likely suitable for most people. So it's really just dependent on the exercise, on the person, and how well, like how good of a stimulus they feel on that exercise. is probably their best rep range for that exercise. For example, when I do, let's say like hammer strength incline press, I might get a better pump and stimulus in like that 7 to 15 range, whereas she might feel it better in the 15 to 20 rep range. It really depends when you get down to the nitty gritty with that kind of stuff. But if you're doing super heavy compound shit, you really like weight on the bar, like a lot of livestock clients we get, you know, they're still like middle-aged guys who are super fucking strong. They're like, I like benching a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Stick to that 7 to 10 rep range. You're still going to get a good pump. It's still in that range of where we would like to see you for maintenance of muscle tissue, not doing sets of 5 and overly fatiguing yourself. So heavy compounds, 7 to 15, let's say. Machine-based stuff wouldn't make sense to do 7 reps on a machine. You know what I mean? Or like a dumbbell curl, like 7 reps on a dumbbell curl is probably not very smart. So sticking more in that 10 to 20 range is probably a good idea there.
I always tell people like what makes someone a beginner to advanced is knowing what that is.
100%, yeah.
It's not how many years you've been training.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and just actually being able to like apply the stimulus properly to the muscle and not just coming in here and weight training or weight lifting.
Yeah.
Like we train for a purpose. A lot of people just kind of lift weights. So there's a big difference there. And whenever you're training for a purpose, the conversation was really good too, because today you notice we started with like more of an intensity technique where she's doing pretty high reps on the mechanical drop set we did. I wanted to find some exercises for her because we were addressing a problem area that she may feel the rhomboids really well. So generally, we might start with something like a bent over row in that heavier rep range, like 7 to 10 range. That's her heavier work for the exercise for the beginning of the session. And then move into these more intensity-based techniques or like machines and then intensity techniques at the end. So here, she's gonna do lateral delts at the end here. Probably just gonna have her do like something very fun that I'll consider an intensity technique.
Trying to scare me.
Maybe a little bit. So that's how you can kind of structure, periodize your training. More heavy compound stuff in the beginning. If you have a problem area, going ahead and isolating that area first is not bad as far as like pre-exhausting it and then going into heavy compound stuff. So she might do that for like glutes or something, like hip thrust first, and then go and do your like sumo squats or whatever the hell it is.
Exactly.
So generally that's how I would structure a training session for most Gen Pop clients.
Yeah.
Heavier compound, machine, intensity techniques. There you go.
Yeah. Done and done. Let's make it happen. So same thing?
Yep. All the way up, come on. Right at that top of the range of motion, really try to control that. The shift from the heat contraction through the eccentric. Control that shift, control. There it is, much better. Up. Control. Up. Control. Right back up. Yes, all the way up, come on. One more. Up all the way, up all the way. Control. Rest, breathe, breathe. Okay, 3 to 5. Let's go. All the way up. 2. Just belts, just the belts, just the belts. Yes. Up. Control. Up. Control. Rest. Breathe. 2. All the way. Come on. All the way up. Good. Off. Step off. Face me.
No.
Arms. Go up here. Squeeze. Down slow. Right back up. Good. Squeeze down so slow. When you're right here, up. Squeeze. Squeeze. Up. Yep, right to that range of motion. Again, elbows high. Squeeze. Control. Control, slow. Slow. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 5th one, you're gonna hold. Good. Squeeze. Elbows high. Elbows high. Elbows high. Right here. Squeeze. 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 Elbows sky high. Squeeze. Squeeze. Come on.
Shaking.
Squeeze. Elbows high. Elbows high. Stay in position. Now resist. Ready?
No. I've got nothing.
Good shit. Good shit.
Yeah. Sweaty.
So that's like another mechanical drop set for your lateral.
Yeah.
What we did
I
was
love those.
the mile reps, the rest pause.
Yeah.
You just basically match 20 every set. And the last one we did a little mechanical drop
So
set.
hard.
Yeah, that's it.
And a pump.
Yeah.
A little pump there.
So again,
My
adding
right
stuff
there.
like that in at the end of a prep is kind of a really
Yeah.
good way to push metabolites, keep the pump in the gym and all that good stuff. So if you want to add more and more of that stuff as the prep goes on, it's not a bad idea. You just got to really kind of auto-regulate your volume for
Yeah.
yourself and see how it feels.
Because we were talking about reps earlier. So for lifestyle people,
Yeah.
how does somebody, I think I know the answer to this, but how does somebody get to know like what their true, reps in reserve are? Like how do they start to learn like that it was enough?
Right, you can definitely have them take some sets to failure. That's one way that people really like to say, like, well, how are you supposed to ever know your RAR if you don't ever take it to failure? But it's like having your clients just send you sets
Yeah.
and watching them is a really good way for you to just kind of be like, okay, hey, I think you kind of had this much left. And even if that's not the case, you basically just keep adding a fucking rep every week
Yeah.
until they hit it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you think you were 5 in the tank there. Next week, we're going to do 13 reps instead of 12. Next week, we're going to do 14. Next week, we're going to do 15. And then whenever they're like, oh, I shit out at 16 reps, like, okay,
That was
cool,
it,
you
yeah.
had 4 in the tank that first
Yeah.
week. That was really good. Good job.
Yeah. It's sort of like testing,
Yeah,
testing,
100%.
testing. Yeah.
If you're accumulating volume across the board for your clients, and they're not, that's where the videos come into play. Because,
Yeah.
people will still rep chase. And they'll start modifying their technique and getting out of position.
Yeah.
So just making sure they're keeping their technique and making sure you're reminding them of that and being like, okay, next week we beat this by a set and we beat this by a rep every
Yeah.
single set.
Yeah.
And then eventually, they're not going to progress infinitely.
Yeah.
They're going to fucking run into failure eventually.
Yeah, and like, you have weeks where you don't feel so strong. And
100%.
so I think that's also a hard thing for newbies is you don't really realize like, hey, you're going to have a week that you feel like shit.
Sure.
You're going to have a week that you feel like a badass.
Yep.
So like knowing what your threshold is for that session, and it might not be what you did last week, but
And then just as the coach having that biofeedback so that you know, like, oh, they're more fatigued this week because they had 3 conferences and they had stayed up late with their kids, whatever it was. So
travel, all the stuff. So cool.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
yeah, that was a good
Wrapping
set.
up?
Oh, good set. Good set.
All right, guys, so that was the workout for today. Got a really killer shoulder pump at the end there.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for that.
Of course.
So yeah, I feel actually really strong right now. I'm like really pumped.
Good.
Feels good.
Good.
Yeah, I can't wait to do some more of these.
Yeah, I think we found a couple of exercises that you said you really felt your rhomboids quite a bit with.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
that deep stretch, focus on that deep stretch at the end of each, kind of like chest over this one, the chest supported rows in there. You said you really felt it a lot. So
Yeah.
just implementing that a whole bunch, I think, is going to help you quite a bit.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
Thank you guys so much for watching today. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We will be coming back in future weeks to show you guys more about my prep. Again, we are about 20 weeks out right now, so I'll be showing you guys my training and how I modify my training as I get deeper into my prep and deeper into my cut, and also sharing you guys some behind the scenes stuff with WBFF, posing, modeling, all the good stuff. So stay tuned.